Hello everyone. Today I am here with Amy Bowman at Good News Vintage, and we are sitting down in her shop, and we are surrounded by so many beautiful things. And I'd like to welcome Amy on. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you doing this evening?
I am doing well, thank you.
That's awesome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. There's so many beautiful things in here, and honestly, you can look at videos, you can look at pictures, but those will never do this shop justice.
I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, and just like the intricate placements and everything on the walls, on the ceilings,
I can't take credit for the ceilings. That's the history in the making. That's the original paint. Well, yeah, that's the original paint.
And the beauty of being located down here in Michigan City's historic district. Yeah.
It's a wonderful place.
It is a wonderful place. It's beautiful from the outside and the inside. This is one of my favorite buildings down here in the art district.
Mine too. The chippy green paint and all of it. I don't care if it ever gets a facelift. It's fine with me in the condition that it's in. It speaks volumes. The story is big here for sure.
Right. Perfect for a vintage shop,
yep,
right?
Absolutely perfect for a vintage shop. Wouldn't have it anywhere else. This is like what my little girl dream was. Like, if I ever had a storefront, this is basically what it looked like. I even drew it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to kind of go off of that and tell us a little bit about how you came to be the shop owner that you are today?
Sure.
That was a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a loaded question. And it's a long story in a short little nugget of, a podcast. But as a gal, starting in my 50s, I have a newfound confidence, so to speak. And it's like I always knew that this was going to be how I end up. And I did all kinds of things, before I started doing this, which is essentially what I've always done, and that is hunt and gather. And I've always had expensive taste, and it's hard to keep up with expensive taste. I can't afford it. Like a lot of girls and guys, so you make do, you buy secondhand. And so, I had no qualms about that when I was younger. I always garage sailed. My friends and I would get together, let's go. We'd cross it off the list of, where we're headed. And, the bounty that we would come home with was just crazy. And the things that I used to decorate my home with, my girlfriends and my friends would come over and, where the heck did you get that? Oh, I found it in the alley, or I got it at a thrift store, or it was my grandma's, or any, I always had a random kind of collection that I would bring together wherever I lived. And so when I moved to Chicago in my 20s, I was a realtor. My family was in real estate in LaPorte, and I went to work for a broker and a developer, and he would say, Amy, order a dumpster for 1724 Fletcher. And I would, and then I would go over to the job site just to see what was going on. Mm-hmm. And I would see wicker furniture in that dumpster, and I would see parlor mirrors, and I would see things that never should be in a dumpster, never should be in our landfills and going in our garbage, and made me sick to my stomach. And so I would talk to my mom, who lived in LaPorte and worked, ironically, at an antique store called It's a Wonderful Life. And she said one day, why don't you bring some of that stuff to the store? Maybe you can sell some of it, because I was accumulating more than I really needed, but I felt so compelled. I just couldn't watch it go to the wayside, And so I did. I brought a few things home. I brought home a little Formica kitchen table, a little 2-seater. They put it in the window, and it sold that day.
Oh, wow.
I think. And it was so cool because it sold to a lady that lived on Indiana Avenue in a little stone house that was built in, God, I don't know, like 18 whatever, part of the Underground Railroad, deep, but teeny tiny. And she never ever was going to change the footprint of this house. So of course she needed something that was going to fit in this house.
So that was
little
perfect
teeny tiny
for
table
her.
fit perfect. And that was it. I just was like, oh, well, I got this. Let me bring you everything. And so it started happening where I would bring things home to my mom in LaPorte and make her just kind of, here, put this in the window. And then it was like, okay, why don't I get a booth? And so I got a booth. And I couldn't stand the booth. The booth was like locked cases and wallpapered background, like grapevines and weird stuff that I was just not into that at all. I was just very much like, okay, I need to have control over my displays and I need to have control over my inventory and how it's seen through the eyes, because I see it in a completely different way than the people working at the antique mall were displaying my things. So I was into home staging. I was into all of the interior things. I was working in Chicago and walking into these amazing homes and having the ability to see, damn, those are, and I can recreate that on a dime kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I can go to the thrift store and find everyone's leftovers and recreate it. And I did. And so... I had antique booths. I was, like I said, at It's a Wonderful Life. Unfortunately, half of that building is no longer with us anymore. After its recent collapse, I was also a dealer at Yesterday's Treasures in Chesterton. I was a commuter. I was still living in Chicago I was actually living in LaPorte. I had moved home from Chicago. And I was commuting back and forth, though, because I wanted to work at Crate and Barrel. So I was working at Crate and Barrel and taking the train back and forth. And so I was always into, interiors, and then retail crashed. Right. And then I was like, yeah, I could, maybe become a little bit bigger. So my booths grew and grew. And instead of a 10 by 10 space, I had a 10 by 20 and a 10 by 30. And then all of a sudden I'm taking up over 1,800 square feet of space because I'm just designing the space around what I had at the time. And so it just kind of grew from there. And when I got outspaced, so to speak, at the antique mall, because owners changed hands, the new folks wanted a lot more money off of me, and that made me freak out because I wasn't doing it for the income. I was doing it for all the other reasons. Income was never the reason for me to do it. Still really isn't, It just comes along with it now, which is a wonderful thing because people appreciate it so much more. There was so much of a stigma back in the day. Nobody wanted to wear secondhand clothes. Oh my God, how dare you go thrifting and wear something?
Now it's a fashion statement.
Exactly. Give me a break. I mean, love it. Amen.
Right.
Amen to all the young girls out there that are rocking it, because vintage is, we're just recycling it all. I mean, believe me, everything that's cool is out there. There are some amazing women out there that have some impeccable collections, and they want to pass them on to the next generation of badasses, and they're doing it through me, and I love it. And so there's so many reasons that I do what I do. But to get back to how I got here, I literally, as a mom with a young kid, bored on a first Friday night, came down to Michigan City, downtown when First Fridays were a big thing. Mm-hmm. And Urban Souls used to be here, and there were a lot of fun shops. And I came down one night and wandered around and ended up meeting Bob Lake. And Bob is a connoisseur of
all things vintage.
All things cool. I won't even say vintage. He just has an eye for some really, rad stuff. And I was absolutely floored by when I met him, because I was like, sheesh, where'd you come from, dude? So I was very, we had a great conversation, and literally 2 days later he called me after I, told him that I was stuck in an antique mall and needed to get the hell out fast. And so kind of flourished from there. He said, I really feel like you would be a great fit downtown in this uptown arts district. And I said, okay. And at the time I had a gal who was kind of on me to get in wherever I was going. She wanted to go with me, so to speak. Okay. So I had a business partner, and we opened Patina Vintage Goods down here in 2016. And that was all right. It was good. We were growing and it was fun, but the partnership kind of wasn't growing and it wasn't fun. And kind of by the grace of God, that blew up, and that blew up during pandemic. So, made it work. I worked my ass off during that pandemic, let me tell you. Everybody did. Everybody that had to work small business wise did the same. We all just, you had sink or swim. So
right.
I was swimming. And so, but that didn't mean our business wasn't sinking, because it went up in flames. So, that's a whole nother, anyways. So, I grew from that, and, it was either going to make or break me. And I decided there was no way in hell it was going to break me. And out of all of that bad news that was hitting me like a ton of bricks, good news evolved, and Good News Vintage became what it has always been inside of me. And this is finally I'm my own kind of force, and I get to do it all. It was one thing before to be the curator or to be the my former business partner used to say that she handpicked me, and I finally realized how actually degrading that was, and and now, but I realize why she handpicked me, because I'm really good at what I do, and I love what I do, and when you are blessed to have that happen, you have to go with it, and this is what I'm supposed to do, and I know that, and just the amazing amount of people that I have met, and the stories that come along with all of this stuff, because everything in here has a story, everything in here has energy, and I'm the custodian of that. I'm the keeper until the next right recipient comes along and claims it as their own. And I get to be the middle gal that connects those things, and
kind of passes on.
Oh my God, it's the most amazing feeling, because nothing goes home with the wrong person. And if it does, it makes its way back. It's happened twice.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Very cool too. A gal, Rhonda, bought a rug. She loved the rug. God, did she love that rug. But Linda Weber really loved that rug too. And Linda wanted it. And I knew it was meant to be for Linda. And Rhonda just kept convincing herself over and over, Amy, this will look good, right? Showed me pictures. Yeah, it'll look great. As long as this, whatever. I gave her all, just from the pictures, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it should be great. I don't know, 2-3 weeks later, she's in, Amy, I've tried that rug but I'm going to make it work. And I was like, no, you're not going to make that work. Bring that back. Bring that back right now.
It's not yours.
Full refund. Absolutely. I know who that rug belongs to. Please bring it back. And she did. And I called Linda a week later and said, guess what? I got that rug again. And here's my credit card.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
To be for Linda. Yeah.
That's awesome. So a lot of your items here, can you tell us a little bit about where they come from, how you curate?
and that too just kind of happens these days. I used to mark out where I was going. I'm going thrifting. I'm going garage sailing. I'm going and doing this or I'm doing that. And now, I just kind of, people know me, so they'll call me. They want if their loved ones have passed on or they're moving on to a different location,
right.
whatever situation they have. And they want those things to go. They don't want to drop them off at Goodwill and have them broken in the back room or, people, they really want the item to be appreciated. And so, but I'm a very picky picker. I only buy what I love. A lot of folks come in and ask me if I'm consignment. They think I'm, I have a lot of folks bringing things into me, and that's not the case. I am handpicking all of this. The only other guy or gal or nobody. I don't let anybody's stuff in here. It's mine, except Bob. I will. That exception applies to Bob because he's my landlord, and it gives me a break on rent if I sell some of his things because, it just helps him out. And
there you go.
So that's a good
exchange relationship.
Yeah. But as far as gosh, it just depends. I mean, I can see a sign. I can be driving to the grocery store and see a sign that is like estate sale this way. Okay, I gotta go. And then I've got 4 pickups that need to be, we got to go pick up all of these things. And I mean, every day is different. Every day is completely different. I have a junker. His name's Chuck. I love Chuck with all my heart. He knows me. He knows what I love. And, he brings me some really good things that Michigan City throws away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He brought me, a bedroom set that was an original from Joseph Acher, I want to say. I'm probably saying that wrong. But it was on the 400 block of Franklin, I want to say. So this original department store in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I sold the dressers to a couple a few weeks ago that have a turn of the century home, and they wanted to fill it with the right pieces. Yeah. So they were very stoked to get those pieces, and I actually kept the headboard, and I have that in my house. So,
that's cool.
It just depends. But I'm not gonna lie. I love to thrift, and I love to garage sale, and I love to go to estate sales. I do not like to go to auctions. Auctions are no fun. They used to be fun when I was younger and I was a lot more agile and I could be in 3 different rings at the same time and run around and say, I want this, this, and this, but that's not how I want to do things anymore. I really, I think that's where I'm coming from with that sense of accomplishment as, this 51-year-old. Now I can say, you know what? I love to do those things, but I'm going to do them when I want to do them instead of frantic being like, oh my God, do I need to go there? Do I need to be there?
Right.
It's okay.
You want to enjoy the process.
Yeah. There are days I don't make a penny. And then there are days when a bedroom set will walk out and, oh my God, that pays my rent.
Right.
So I never know what it's going to be like, but I know I enjoy the process more than anything else, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm very grateful to have this space that I call Good News. It really is my happy place. I mean, I could live here. People ask me all the time what my house looks like, and it is a very, just like this, I mean, it's filled with things I love. It's filled with things that speak to me.
That's
and
awesome.
Things that are local. I mean, a lot of things in here are local. It's not like I'm sitting online. I don't buy a damn thing online, really. So, it's all local. All of this art is done by local people. Everything in the closet was worn by local someone,
people.
who came before us, who had really good taste.
Right. And now I feel like it's so popular to go on Amazon, get the fast option. Yeah, gross. Get the fast
Really
option.
gross. What's even grosser? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
you're fine.
But now there's sites they're selling only vintage, not just Amazon. Now they're capitalizing on online vintage sales, and that just it kills it. It's like no
Part of it's the chase that gives you part of that reward as well, and like the feeling, yes, I found this.
Just like with Christmas shopping right now. Someone just told me, it was my girlfriend Christiana. She was in Oak Brook, and they were at the mall. And the malls aren't decorating for Christmas. And she walked in here, and this touched me so much because she walked into my window because I was closed the week of Thanksgiving, and I put brown paper over my windows. I didn't want anybody to see what I was doing because I get people are knocking on the windows and trying to get me to let them in. And I'm like, no, I need to think. I needed to break out Christmas, and I need space to curate and design. And, I don't draw things out on paper until the crucial moment. Then I do a floor plan and go, cross it out. I just go with the flow and something sparks me, and then I redo, I just kind of let magic happen the way it's supposed to. And it was very disheartening to hear that the major retailers who have all the money in the world aren't decorating for Christmas. Are you kidding me? What the hell's wrong with you people? And when she walked in and went through, and she's a regular. This girl comes in, she knows my shop left and right, up and down, and always gets the same kind of vibe about her mom, and brings back memories of that side of her family. But she when she was in my window the other day, she said it gave her Grandma Roper feelings, and that she said, I haven't been to my Grandma Roper's for Christmas in a long time, and that gave me a lot of feelings. And she said, you nailed department store Christmas. And I was like, yes, I nailed it. And that makes me so happy, because when people walk in here, I want them to feel reminiscent. I want them to go, it smells good in here, it sounds good in here, it feels good in here. I don't want to leave here. I want to stay here.
It truly is an experience. It truly is an experience.
How awkward is it to walk into a store when it's just, you can hear a pin drop? It's just so bad. I make this experience the way I like to shop. And I'm a shopper. I love to shop. And I want people to feel a good sense. I don't want people to walk in and walk out. And there are those that do that, and those people don't belong here, and that's fine. There's still a lot of people.
The Amazon people.
Yes. There are a lot of Amazon people out there, and God bless them.
But then
they keep our truck drivers in business.
That's true.
God bless them.
But then I just, that is so in style now, the whole modern gray, white vibe. But then it's when you walk into a house like that, it's where's the character? Where's
and you firsthand because you're a realtor, so you see it.
Oh man, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know.
It's slowly going out of fashion. A little bit,
yeah.
And I'm happy about
it. Still, every contractor, every builder, they're painting it all out gray and white, and it's just. I'm not cut from that cloth. I am definitely.
Clearly
coming from a different, and about this ceiling, when I met Bob, I was over in the building where Static Age is located, and I took the middle space in that building. Originally, I wanted the back space here, which was cold storage. It's all exposed chippy brick, and it is the most amazing little nugget of a space that I could ever dream to have. It's super tiny, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to be there. But it didn't have any heat, and it didn't have a bathroom, and it just probably wasn't the best place to invite people in to shop. So I took, what I could over there, and I made it work, and I made it happen. Because Joy Flowers was here. This was a very well-established flower shop, and there was nothing I could do about it. But Bernie Scott decided to retire in 2017, the year after I opened.
Oh man.
What am I going to do now? So this space sat here, and I just lost my mind all the time. I was like, man, I cannot believe this space is just sitting there, not doing anything. So Bob was going to rent it out to an investment firm. They were going to cubicleize it.
No.
And I was losing my mind. I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't. And, well, Amy, would you? I'm like, I would love to be over there, Bob. I would love nothing more. And so I convinced the former partner. I was like, I'm ready to move over. And so we did. And it was not like this at all. There was a dropped acoustic ceiling. There was fluorescent lighting. There was none of these colors. There was none of this.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to
it was like mushroom brown, and there was a big cash wrap over there. There was a room here. It was their walk-in cooler, and it had sliders, like patio sliders.
Right.
This was a full room. There was a wall there. So anyways, we knocked down the acoustic ceiling and exposed this beautiful tin ceiling. And ironically, I had already painted the walls, and they are the same colors as the ceiling. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So
that's
it was
really
meant
funny.
to be. Yeah. Bob didn't really want me to take the ceiling down, but I did it while he was in Florida. So he
didn't really have a say.
Nope. And I actually put the paper up again. That was the first time I put the paper up. I wasn't letting anybody see what I was doing over here.
So there's a strategy. When the paper goes up, stuff is happening.
There's stuff going on, that I don't want anybody to know about.
Oh my goodness.
Not that I think that what I'm doing is so important and it's going to be, but I really don't want. Yeah, I really need it. And having a big picture window of people that can be staring at me every 5 seconds at what I'm doing is not conducive to getting things done. It's epic fail because talking is obviously what I do best. So I can